Thank you for joining Fuji Apple Learning with Heather McBain. What type of government system is used in the United States? Most people think that the government system in the United States is a democracy. And although a democracy isn't a bad system, it's not the system used in the United States. Where does this misconception come from? Unfortunately, it's a mistake made by news reporters and those running for and in government offices, which means that we end up hearing it pretty often. So what type of government system do we have? In order to discover this, we need to look all the way back to July 4th, 1776, when the Continental Congress declared independence from Britain by way of the Declaration of Independence. Did you know that the United States has had more than one government system since it declared its independence? A little over a year after the United States declared its independence, it officially entered its first form of government with the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation were approved on November 15, 1777, by the Second Continental Congress. Unlike our government system of today, it was an agreement between the 13 states that gave all of the power to the states individually and basically no power to the government. At that time, our government did not have a national army, it had no power to tax, and no way to enforce laws, but it could engage in foreign relations and form new states. Now, some of you might be wondering about not having an army because the United States Army was founded on June 14, 1775. At that time, the colonies were still under British rule, and although this was an army of sorts, it was more of an underpaid or unpaid militia who were fighting for the freedom and rights that we have today. But we'll save that for another video. Although independence had been declared, there was still a war going on, and the government had no way to protect the people and no way to pay for protection or anything else. It was chaos. This led to the Constitutional Convention in May of 1787. About 10 years after declaring independence and adopting the Articles of Confederation as a government system, it started to become very clear that it wasn't working and change needed to be made. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention was held and the debate about a new government system began. Many state representatives arrived with plans for a new government, but the most popular were the New Jersey Plan and the Virginia Plan. The New Jersey Plan proposed a system similar to what was already in place under the Articles of Confederation. It supported the idea that every state should have equal representation regardless of population. There was a great deal of fear among the smaller states that the larger states would take over and they would no longer have a say in the government. The Virginia Plan proposed a system that supported the power of the people and the population. This meant the larger the population, the more power the state had. In the end, neither plan would win, and the Great Compromise was made, which is how the United States Constitution, Bill of Rights, and government system was born. On March 4, 1789, the United States Constitution was adopted. This document created the three branches of government and defined the rights of the people, the states, and the central government. As a result, we have our government system. The Constitution created our federal republic. So what is a federal republic? This means that the United States is a country that is led by people who have been elected by the people of the country, rather than selected by the government. It is a government system in which people vote for and select others to represent them to the state and central governments. Since you now know that the United States is not a democracy, I bet you're wondering what a democracy is. A democracy is a government system run by the eligible members of a state who are elected by representatives. It is very similar to the original form of the United States government under the Articles of Confederation, which gave all of the power to the people, but no way to enforce laws, protect the people, pay for needed services, and so on. So next time you are celebrating the 4th of July, take a moment to think about the militias that fought for our freedom. the monarchy of Britain, the struggle of our founding members to create and recreate our government, and all of the rights and privileges that we have today. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you come back again soon.